Yeah, there we go. Sweet.
Go there for now. And just... Okay, if I'm in settings, apparently I can't do that. Set stream output. How does that value mean? I see that. Swap to variable. Just go up with it. Just randomly fiddling with settings in the background. If I go back in, will it default them to the same? Nope. Okay, that should be a little bit better. I think it was on the right there. No, or there. I don't think I have enough fossils to faff with it. Black screen because I'm over the loading icons. I think actually with everything I'd be over the moves. Let's get past that. Don't care. 2 males. Also do the thing, run up and down makes it really sound. Free the lily. The others in the box, that's my team. Should be 5 altogether. Yeah. That's definitely fun. Up and down. Use my joy guns. That's all I want, whereas it separates the D-pad instead of stupid memory. Nope. Down to constant leaps. Vision with time. There's, in fact, out there, there's 5 steps I'll save on. Definitely able, not just me being erratic. Already determined. There's a point where I'm just happy I'm watching something just in my ears, another video. God knows I'm not focusing on the chat. Not that I barely get it down. One in the United States one. Okay. Yeah, looks like there's nothing. Let's check. There should be any. What's her name? Stupid Star at the top. Yeah, I own it. Lost in the mountains. Oh yeah, it is kind of air. I should not sound constantly. Yeah, we shouldn't do it the single. It should be so much faster. In fact, I gotta go up and down. I can't just mindlessly hold a button as well. This is where stuff like yours updates got better. Just hold one button and just circle that island as the camera changed. It was like, no, let's make it faithful. But they weren't great. They were made freaking, I don't want to think how long ago. Definitely somewhere near a decade or more at this point. Let the existential dread kick in. There we go. 40. So much just if I catch one. It's on there. Let's go get food. Why did I get the... Oh. Bang, shoving it in the PC. Read up the fossils halfway through this deck. Considering usually at the end, at least for the first two. I do not want to say moving forward, because I'll probably be wrong. Feebas, oh, like, frick, am I gonna go home for that? I'm just breeding the one I've got. Now this time I just missed the one I'm looking for and scroll past it 3 times. My low tick should be somewhere. The stupid thing is when I shove it in home, I've already got a shiny Feebas, and then Sword and Shield I've got a shiny Milotic. So it's kind of pointless, but it's nice just to have the base decks. Feebas, Cerebi. Let's have a look. Oh, no. It just is a normal 50.2 and 49.8. That's 50-50. Quick inspect everything. Randomly dropping frames. It was stable for the whole time, and I've only dropped like 100 odd frames in half an hour. Which could just be hardware, if I'm honest. Considering it is ancient. Yeah, it's probably hardware. Oh. Idiot. Everything going up and down. Oh. That's a lily bag. Okay, I thought I was smart. No, I thought thought I was stupid, then I thought I was smart, then I thought I was stupid again. At least I'm closer to getting rid of that extra little leap. Pay attention. Random is 2. Because I don't want the excess and I hate myself. Although we'll just end up with boxes of eggs if I do it that way. But just get more eggs than I need for the sake of getting the mail. Just end up with about 5 extra boxes of eggs that would then have to hatch because you can't get rid of them in anything. Because, yeah, there's no point beyond that, just, Now, after all of it. I'm just visible enough to finish it. Engaging content. When did I put that class? 250. I think it's 491. So yeah, up to 479. Just over 100. Oh, it's so much effort. Go on for punishment. Half an hour, 140. It's not bad. Times it, half 12. Gotta get off there. Gotta this morning. See ahead, but that's a hard drive. That's where I'm storing stuff. So it is hardware. Don't think the F50's really got space. Room? Oh, I don't care about the goddamn. Thought that was a few last. There you go. Up to a month, sweet. Nice. Oh, loving it. Ah, one more. It wasn't as easy as I thought it'd be. Let's go grab an egg and then I can troubleshoot them back on. But I'm gonna go also these. Okay, so I think that should be all the assets. So thank you. That for now is TR. Which is direct drive. BG. Should be everything. Before I get confused, because I'm easily confused. Drop menus, now seeing everything off the SSD. A bit of extra light. Oh, the vertical layout is so much better. Oh. Although, has that made those smaller? Probably has. Can that go smaller? Whatever. I prefer it that way. I've got the other screens there. Mail. Sweet. Analytic done. And now I can see audio levels. I can see that's a bit low. Bit low. It's a little bit low. A little bit higher, but for the time being, it's a little bit low. And I got a mic in front of my face. And I just put it straight back to where it was. Show it right in my chest. Oh, no, that was a box. See the thought pattern there. And the lack of it. Oh, no. For a second I was like, oh, click somebody telling me something. To be fair, still haven't done them. I do have to click more. Animate allow to cast form. That's going to be Trophy Garden, isn't it? I'm going to check. Because I think I can find that underground. I'm just weighing up whether it's faster to do it underground or breed it. It's breeding's boring as sin. Let's see, cast form, Gen 8. Trophy Garden. It is a random all day. Oh no, it's a daily one. Yeah, back it, breeding it. I am not. I'm not bother even checking with the guy. Don't want the egg. The woman's gonna probably tell me, oh, your husband's got an egg outside. Oh, no, it's being good this time. Hello, tick. That one. No. Right. Do you want to leave too? Yes. Well, not really, but I guess. Cast form. Where are you? Show me cast form. Cast form. Hey, right from the caster. Just about that. Now for the beacons. the Dex actually. Dex should tell me. It's not genderless. Try and win the war. God, I love quiet times. And my brain just screaming at me internally. Fill the dead air, and I'm just like, don't. Okay. This isn't my job. You don't have to be entertained, you just have to be boring. Embrace me. Embrace the silence. Chill. Living Dex stream. Because I'd be doing this. Whether it's streamed or not. This is how to be more productive. And I'm just thinking to myself. Well, not thinking. Talking to myself, which is arguably a bit more indicative of a psychopath. And then I just get the edge. Check. No, usually I check like right before. It's not even on sounds. Show up in the background. Curious. Let's swap to this. Hey Google, turn on the neon light. Well, I mean, it's not completely blown out. Back to the game. Still gotta add that on there. Else to do. These. Call that OBS.
One simple but brilliant trick to heat your home in 90 seconds and save thousands of pounds on your heating bill this winter. This genius way to heat any room for almost zero cost is taking over the market like crazy in the UK. An ingenious college kid from Edinburgh just destroyed the billion-dollar heating industry by building a device that can heat any room 90% cheaper than traditional heating methods. Martin designed the invention after budget cuts left his school with a broken heating system in freezing cold winters. He and his fellow classmates had to study for their exams in 14-degree temperatures. And when their plea for a new heating
the actual lack of dynamic range is now annoying me. So I'm going to turn off the S. It's nice for a bit, but dynamic range. Dynamic range. Oh. I'm just going to turn it right down. I only want to hear it a little bit. Enough to know that I'm bonking on the wall, but not enough that the mic picks it up. Perfect timing with me. Saying sweet, guess that's an interesting commentary. Ooh, I said a word, so kind of. Code streamer. Ooh. Oh, female. God damn it. Why that stupid internal challenge? Give me another egg. Let's go running again. It takes ages, which is bad if I just catch enough. After this, I'm gonna actually, let's make my way down anyway. Make my way down now, walk past faces, passing my mouth. Let's go check the trophy garden. Because God knows it will be the day when cast forms are on. It's just my luck. That's only like down here. It genuinely will be just my luck for this swap. So bad. Come on, don't let it be in the garden. Because I've wasted so much time just going up and down. Yes. Yes. Colossal. Oh, okay, thank God. It's something I've already got. I can do the national dex. Like, I can breed technically everything. It just takes longer. Drop more frames again. At some point, I'm gonna have to like hardwire. I forget there's living room more lens. Because it must line up with the kitchen downstairs. Yeah, at some point, it's gonna have to hardwire a connection. It also feasible to plug them. Yeah, just randomly dropping. So that's connection wise. Unless it's to do with hardware and coding. For a little bit and checking back a lot. Cast form still hasn't hatched. The worst thing about this is I just have to breed a ton. Because a lot of them are just too bare. They put too many in each area and there's too much overlap, which means a 5% is so much rarer in general areas. Because they just clog them full of Pokemon. Like the underground, useful, but they didn't swap them out. They just keep adding as you get between badges and national dex and all those different things. So it just means like 5%, you probably find one in half an hour. Which is ridiculous. So it's not actually worth the time to go in and out and try and spawn them, as opposed to trying to breed them. And then you got crap daily Pokemon like this that I just can't get today unless I breed another one. Thankfully I've already done the national dex. Just being masochistic and doing a living dex. I think if I do the app, Oh, video I'm watching got rid of Twitter tags, Twitter handles. God, I've got 4 freaking YouTube handle things. 4 emails. I'm assuming it's 1 per account, but it should be smart enough to work out per email. Okay. You really found the plan to get a hike. As long as the base stays normal. Okay. Be male. Be male. Have a royal lineage? Yes. You will have your royal lineage. Release. Okay. It seemed odd, and then I was like, oh yeah, just get those as the base moves. Why has it only got tackle? And the other one's got all the elemental moves, and then brain's like, duh. Idiot, it's got elemental forms. It'll level up probably like to level 5 and get all of them. Kecleon, grass Pokeball. You know what? Oh, of course I can't fly. Let's try and be smart, because Kecleon's another one who is... To be fair, I say another one, there's so many of them. It's just generally Pokemon are too rare. 210 Underground Underground. 12% Radar. Or generic percent. I feel like Pokemon doesn't care about repel, so trying to do the level trick won't make a difference. Wait, what? I clicked 210, I said this route. Scroll through. And there we go. What is this? The grass just below the hill. Yeah. Grass just below the hill. Am I gonna... It'd be slightly faster. Maybe. Hopefully. He says with full-on Stockholm Syndrome. No point in flying. Remember one. Gnome bird. Hey gem as well. There we go. And get a spike. And there we go. Defog. I'm not dealing with this. Back, go up, put the radar, use. Oh, I was hoping it'd be first time. It never will be. I can hope. One can hope. Okay, yeah. A barrel. Five, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Fuck me, that's a lot of drop frames. No, 15 over. Yeah, let's watch that. Didn't even do poker radar. So, no. Oh, it's always just a crapshoot of what direction I want to go because I don't know if it makes any difference. Right block. Probably heard of bread. No. Always the way. Random encounter between. I'm gonna give it 5 more. Arbitrary 5 more, and then I'm just gonna breed. This does not count, obviously. the gas. This one. I'm gonna lose it. Mom! You can't lose it yet. One. Do it again. The only thing is I'm probably going to encounter it. It's going to be female, and then a stupid challenge. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, it's going to be a stupid challenge of you're going to run away from this because it's a female. And you only need males in Pokeballs. Second dud. Four, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, damn. Kecleon. It's half right. Female. Fucking knew it. 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Faster. But I feel like it's rare enough underground as well. Well, I have to give it time. I think this is the last one. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go underground. So I'm really just trying to avoid doing eggs. Although eggs will give me guaranteed Kecleons. It's so boring. The title. Manage? Nope. How have they not made this easy to change stream title? Ah, whatever. National Dex still is right. Could be more accurate. Looks like it'll be something like National Dex before Scarlet Violet. Where am I? I'm in that one. Yeah, I do need to go. Over to the left. Far left. Strong blue Pokemon. Blue? Come on, me. Wake up a little bit. I think the easier way is actually go around the opposite. Do like a counterclockwise loop. Done. Flux. Don't need. So dull. Let's do arbitrary count to 10. I'm doing this and I'm still not entirely sure if this is where I should be doing it. No, feck off. Feckin'. Fucking feckin'. Bonkers when you want to feel more Irish than what I do. Grassland, riverbank, still water and sunlight. Grassland, riverbank, still water. Yeah, so I'm in the right one. So 10 arbitrary number checks. No. Somehow did not hit that up, so dear. There's bounce ones, one of them. Did he, yeah? Go, would be useful. There's it up. Bend it. That's it. Count to Turning Greek with me. Somehow didn't touch that. Yeah. After. Locked up. And yeah. There you go. Okay, that's 10. 8? I don't actually know what HRU means. I feel like I'm showing my age. I feel like I'm just being dumb there. God. Oh, yeah, I'm just kind of embracing. That threw me for a second. Just being white, I thought the game broke. Yeah, sweet. Just kind of chill, getting through the national decks before Scarlet and Violet come out. How about you? Silesian. Mind numbing. Bleeding. Just. I feel like I should be more up on it as well, considering I do like marketing for a job and social media. Should be down with the kids. He says, holding a skateboard over his back. No worries. Get on. Where are you? There we go. And get ready to lose brain cells going up and down. Making constantly. Oh, I said that wrong because it was defog. 3, 4. I need to remember these numbers. Not that one. Not that one. Yeah, sweet. There we go. Back to the blinkies. Okay, thankfully this is just one. Hopefully this is just one and done. Shop it. That should be. That could be a night only encounter. Oh no, that's. I don't have Shannon Pill. At least on me. I've got a Shannon Pill save. Oh no, wait, that's an odd one. That's one I think I can do underground. I think Bennett should be in Dazzling Cave. Oh, okay. Yay, I get to not just do eggs. And I know Bennett is definitely. I'm gonna have to breed one, but then I can go catch a Bennett. At that point, is it worth just getting Shuppet? At that point, it might be worth just getting Shuppet. Like twice. I'm gonna get Shuppet anyway because I've got to breed regardless. There's no way to encounter it. That's a weird one. I could do the stupid thing and just... Not stupid, it might be smart. Go catch Bennett, shove that same Bennett into the daycare and breed to get the Shuppet, like I did the first time. Yeah. I just realised that I didn't even see the little follow notification. Hope it worked. I mean, I haven't got it downloaded. I've only got a cartridge. Yeah, I'm thinking my mind's hit that like wall of just don't want to jump on another game. But no, I need to power through, otherwise I will not get it done before Scarlet and Violet come home. Time's it? 20 past 1. Ah, oh, back. Yeah, I've got to get off at 3. It's 20 past 1 now. Got to go throw some petrol in. Yeah. Make a plan in my head. Just full on vibe it, amazing. Just mute the output and throw some music on instead. Just full on lo-fi vibe it. I need to get some smaller headphones. Because I can monitor and have the lo-fi in my ears. But then I've got big headphones for just playing with the amp really. Playing guitar without annoying the neighbours. Have I been... So much of my thoughts are, just please don't tell me I've been dumb. Considering I've already done it with Feebas today. I'm just randomly hoping I kind of get shinies. I'm 2 shinies in. I can't remember what Kecleon shiny looks like actually. And the mouse is off. Smart. Smooth. So smooth. Not shiny. Don't be female. What? I wish I didn't start doing it this way, because now I'm stubborn enough that I'll finish with this stupid challenge. Oh, I said it. I freaking called it as well. That's the worst bit. Yeah, I remember Kecleon shiny being dumb. It's just got the blue line on the stomach. Yeah, but damn it. And to... and now, mouse is down. Let's go. Let's see, go find it. Alright, charge my mouse. These are wireless mouse, but you never really turn off. It's really on me. Because it's useful and it's not having it wireless. It's useful if you remember to turn it off. See, it cracks and die every time. Wow. There you go. And just hope that I don't need my mouse anytime soon. Could unravel a cable, but efforts of laziness. Efforts? Extents of laziness. make it more interesting, really. Don't really want to just throw the podcast I'm listening to on the screen, because that's not plagiarism. It's technically transformative. Sort of. It really rides that fair use line. And so it's a bit more interesting, but then it's not really me. It's like, I've thrown a podcast on. Like, anyone can do that. Don't need to be yourself or do anything transformative. Throw the podcast on and just have someone walking up and down. Like, you could do this without having eggs and just tell people, oh, this egg just takes really long to hatch. That would be a real weird thing for like a big PokeTuber to just like gaslight his audience. That could be really funny. Just do hours of going up and down until someone kind of goes, maybe you have got an egg. Now I'm just thinking of how to do that. That actually be so dumb. Because it all ends up the same. So you could just kind of get to a point where it always looks the same. With no like characters on screen. So somewhere like this. It's kind of a I just cut off my own thought. Yeah, it's kind of a non-shiny Living Dex. Although I've already got shinies from other stuff. So right now, I'm kind of accidentally getting shinies doing it because I've already done the national Dex. Where are they? Oh, there they are. Yeah, so I've got a shiny Poliwag and Paris through this. Let's actually go through and actually see my shinies because I'm curious at this now. Because I've got a whole team of shinies in Sword and Shield. Which I think my team for that. Yeah, shiny Politoed. I'm curious which way to go with it. I don't know if I want to go Poliwrath or Politoed. I don't know. Generally, the way I do shinies for myself, you might be different, is I'll go base form, and then if I get another one, then I'll evolve it, unless I'm doing it for a team. So if I remember how home works. Oh, I forgot I can check the games as well, so you can actually see. Yeah, so I went for shiny Steelix and got an Onyx. Because that was for my team, I went straight for the Steelix, but I got Onyx kind of happily with it. Went for my Milotic and got Feebas. That's there. But generally I do like first forms and then evolve them. Yeah. It just makes sense because, I don't know, brains, I guess. I don't know how to explain it. Save changes and exit. I'll see if I can see my Sword and Shield one. Because the way I kind of did it for the DLCs, I had a different team for each and they had a theme. So for the first DLC, which was the Dojo one, I always forget, Isle of Armor, I went a whole Mega team. Not Mega, that was G-Max. Yeah, they're all the ones all the shinies I've got for this. Plus, I don't think I can see my team. Just so frustrating. So yeah, I got shiny Rillaboom. I think I went Volcarona, Steelix, Luxray. Oh, this is gonna kill me thinking. They were all gold. I'm trying to think who else was gold. Oh yeah, Nagazera Aura. I can't remember the other one. Yeah, I'm just finding it hard to kind of keep going, which I thought if I stream it, at least it's a reason to play. Oh yeah, I got shiny. God, I'm forgetting all the shinies I've got. Yeah, the shiny decks. I love shinies in general, but God, there's so much effort. Like some of them, you get like the serotonin kick of like, what is it? Maybe 200 hatches or whatever method you're doing. SOS was still the best, I think. But then some of them, I think Steelix took over like 2,500. What others have I got? Oh, I've got some in Eevee as well. Yes, I'm the same. To get the black card. Oh, I hate the way this was organised. Yeah. Shiny Rapidash. Shiny Dodrio. I think that they're the only really shinies I've got in here. Yeah, I haven't got the effort to do the black card. I'm not that into battling, if I'm honest. Like, I will make them kind of semi-competitively viable. Oh, and Shiny Jolteon. I forgot my name and scheme Jolteon. Just double up a stupid vowel. Not vowel. Sound. But the good thing is, I think I've actually got in videos. Because I didn't realise this was a thing. But you still get a nice little message when you go, after you get your gold card. And you'll notice here, so like, oh, she references the colour. She's seen silver all the time. Kind of referencing the amount of players that just play up to that point and stop, which it's not Game Freak really acknowledging it, it's Ilka, but same, they kind of know, if you get what I mean. Yeah. I'm only really, I'm really 50-50 because I'm getting both versions of Scarlet and Violet. So I'm tempted to do one of them. I'm probably going to do Scarlet as a normal playthrough just for me. I maybe do an extra challenge run for Violet. But I kind of want to start on a shiny starter, depending on when I finish the Living Dex. Because I was thinking, the way I did my BDSP run, I actually did an all-electric team, and that was fun just for the extra challenge. Because my own personal challenges, I've already said the male thing, but they're also always in Pokeballs if I can. Everything is caught in a Pokeball, and generally it's male. That's my usual ones. I was thinking of making a harder challenge of doing it like the monotype again, but then my brother-in-law also brought up, just do it in Premier Balls, and I was like, I hate you because that sounds so satisfying to do. Just masochistic. Yeah, and see, I've just acknowledged at this point, I am a whale of the franchise, even though I don't think the games are going to be amazing. I just bought both. And that was partly because me and my brother-in-law, we usually try and get the opposite versions. And we both wanted the same. But then, like I said, we just acknowledged, we're going to buy the games regardless. I've got some spare income. Just buy both. And also the fact that they're not doing the Steelbook versions, which is usually what sells me on like a certain one. I usually pick it and make sure I get the Steelbook. The Steelbook is only in the double version. So I was like, if I'm going to get it anyway, and then I've always got two versions. Yeah, I think that's what a few people have done this time round. As much as I could do without spending £90 for the double pack. I'd still rather pay the £45, but there's also no pre-order bonuses really this time round that seem worth it. Like, I think Arceus, I got the little figurine, which is okay, but I don't really care about the figurines. They're just tat at the end of the day. The Steelbooks are the only thing I really cared about, which is what sold me on it. And although the Arceus one for Amazon was actually really good, I just didn't manage to pre-order it while they were available. And it's a female again. Yeah, the little Pokeball I held, I think it was 3 games, was actually pretty cool. But I thought they missed a trick. The fact that they didn't do it so it could hold all the main series up to that point, which would have just been put in 2 extra slots. And then you could hold all the main series games in the Pokeball. 2 revives into it. Yeah, it's all that. They're all pointless ones when they say like exclusive digital items, and it's 2 revives and 10 potions, something dumb like that. It's all stuff that you end up just buying the game after like playing for 10 minutes. It's nothing actually special. Like if they gave you some rarer stuff, like I know there's a little bit of like people didn't like the cosmetics in Sword and Shield, like specifically the pre-order being able to get, I think, the gold bag. People get annoyed at like, I can't get it. But if they gave them some interesting stuff like the Pokeballs, give them like Kate's Pokeballs or whatever. Yes, especially like give them like rare ones like Enigma berries, or I don't know, useful ones for like in this Milotic. If you make stuff like Poffins, or you're gonna make a special sandwich, that stuff's all gonna come out, and berries are gonna come into it in some way. And there's been such a dump of people playing it recently for the press announcements that I've still got to properly go through. I'm actually curious to see whether berries are just going to be their own system, because I feel like it would be such a bad decision to not include berries in the whole sandwich making thing. As much as I'm probably never going to use that sandwich making system, unless it's like the curries in Sword and Shield, because the curries in Sword and Shield were weirdly good for getting friendship evolutions. You just have to do it maybe, I think it was only like 5 times, and you get the right friendship rather than... Wait, just double checking that I got the... Yeah, checking that I wasn't just running up and down here. Yeah, getting the friendship evolutions and doing the national dex for that. National dex for Sword and Shield was a lot easier because of that. And then you just have the other people being masochistic with the curries as well. I'm just remembering this now. And the video I was watching where someone... yeah. Someone, like, curry hunting, like shiny hunting Pokemon. I was like, that's... One, you're not guaranteed the one you want. And it's just... It's active shiny hunt. Like, I almost enjoy being able to like sit there, throw a series on, and hunt in the background. That hits the back of my brain just right, where there's just enough attention. I can leave it, and I think I've done it with this. I've just been sitting on the couch, and as soon as the screen stops moving out the corner of my eye, I kind of swap the up and down, which I've also learned weird priorities. It's like you can always hold down, and you just kind of have to hold up and then let go of up, doing this. Yeah, just leave in the background. But the curry, you've got to actively stare the part, throw the stuff in at the right time. And unless you're making bank from doing streams and donations and making content out of it, I don't see the point. But then there's also people who do the safari hunts. And you can see your shiny and you're never guaranteed it. You can't save before it. Like, I can't deal with seeing the shiny that you've hunted for hours and then losing it because it just decided to run away. Be man. Be man. The thing that's going to kill me is if this is a male, I end up hatching a shiny and it's female, I'm still probably going to do a male. Oh, god damn. I swear this is a 50-50. See, I know that's a game that I can go down a rabbit hole on, which is kind of why I deliberately haven't played Temtem. So I don't actually know how bad that is, or like what any of the... Oh, so I'm assuming there's like shinies in Temtem. Yeah, these games just suck the life out of me, which is actually why I don't play a ton of them. I think Pokemon is the only game like this that I play. I tried Monster Hunter Stories 2 and didn't actually finish it because it's an interesting game. The systems are good. It just kind of, for me, hard to explain it. The story was good, but it dragged. I felt like I'd get to the end of a chapter and think it was a nice checkpoint, and then just start a chapter of the same stuff again. But yeah, Temtem's so close to Pokemon, I feel like I'd just lose hours of my life, and I'd rather, well, not rather, I'd rather play it because that's why I will lose the hours of my life. But I know I should be more social and maybe leave the house a little bit. See, yeah, it's definitely 50-50, but I've had, I think the worst in this has been 12 females before I got a male on a 50-50 ratio, which always feels wrong, and it's RNG. Which is why I wish there wasn't the little gremlin in the back of my brain saying, it is genuinely, you're not wrong. Yeah, the only thing I need to be social with is this little gremlin in the back of my brain going, it needs to be male. And I'm like, I know. And then I just talk to him. And then I realise, oh God, I'm getting closer to that neck beard. I forgot where my train of thought was going now. Okay, so I don't know why it's a thing. If I go ages back, the reason they need to be male where possible, stuff like Salazzle and Salander, obviously you need females to get the final evolution, so those I will let be female. But somewhere years ago, and this is where the whole catching them in Pokeball things came from, I just started reading up challenges, because even when I think I was maybe about 10, 11, I thought these games are a bit too easy. And it started with me reading the Ash Ketchum challenge. And it just sounded interesting. It's like, only catch them like the anime, so only do it in Pokeballs. And that's where that started. And for some reason, my little kid boy brain went, oh, you always call your Pokemon like guys or like dudes, lads. So in my brain it said, they all have to be female. And at that point, I've just not left it. We're talking a decade on. I still do it subconsciously. And that, I think that comes down to part of the thing of the games are just too easy. Yeah, see, it kind of makes sense. It's stupid logic, but there's logic behind it. But it just makes the games that little bit harder, and I feel like as the years go on, I just keep adding to the challenges instead of like Game Freak or Ilka or whoever actually making the game any harder. My only exception is obviously if it's shiny, I will let them be female and it won't bother me, because that's the exception to my rule. Everyone has their exceptions. It's like, I almost treat them like, I swear I've got to get to like 3 hours before I get a male. Yeah, like I was saying, it's kind of like diets. You have your normal days where you're really strict with it. Dope, because that's something that appeals to me so much. If I just release the shiny females, I do that with Arceus, because Arceus shinies are so easy, and I feel like that's where the majority will come from. But they're like my cheat days on a diet. I'll let the shinies be female, same as I get to weekends and be like, well, now it's cake and pizza day. I will agree, it's overrated because it's not a great game, but I feel like, and this is what I've said before to people, is Pokemon has its own scale, because you will never get a bad Pokemon game in theory compared to all the other crap knockoffs and clones. You will, if you put Pokemon in scale of other games that do the same, you will never have a bad one. But we also haven't had a great one in a while. So I feel like we got Arceus with a ton of changes and people went, this is so much better than what we've had in recent times. But it's a perspective thing, and people are so jaded and crap on stuff so much that when something was so different and it forced them to look at it with fresh eyes. Yeah, I can say. Yeah, people have raved on Temtem, I just personally have to give it a go. Yeah, people just raved on it because it kind of forced them to have a different perspective on it and go, well, this is what Pokemon could be, and they saw the potential of it again, rather than getting in the same loop. And I feel like Temtem will, it's going to be one of those that I'm just going to have to give a go. probably at some point next year once got past Christmas, and I'll probably have done the national Dex again. I hate using that term around Pokemon. Once I've done that, I'll probably jump into Temtem at some point. Fair. I don't know if that's good or bad. I'm assuming that's probably good. How much is it? Tell you what. I'm good, because I know it's on Switch. And the fact that I've almost got a full team of Kecleons. I'm going to have to log in. Fuck it. I'll log in. Oh! Yeah, 600 plus hours. I don't want to have a look at... You got me thinking what the most hours I've spent in a game is. You got 195, 310 in Shield. 120. That's 310. Also only on this profile. 120 in Arceus. What was that? 19 Stardew. I feel like the worst one is... Yep, right there. I'm only close to your Temtem hours in New Horizons. Then again, generally, I haven't been super into games recently. It's kind of been following other stuff like guitars and music in the background. Trying to be social. You know, all those skills we lost over lockdown and the Rona. Yeah, back to being a person. So then when people try and tell me I'm not a person being antisocial, I can say like, well, I did this 2 months ago. That's the thing. That's 195 over... Okay, I need to actually check this. I need to add these up because I've played both of them. So 195 plus... Where's... I'm sure I've done... Pill. Plus 20 because I think of how I do. So let's say... What is that? 215? 225... 230. To be fair, I am nowhere near. But I also haven't bothered shiny hunt, which is where a lot of my hours end up coming from in Pokemon games, obviously, because you just sit there for hours. Like I say, just doing stuff in the background. I feel like the other thing I want from this, because as much as the Masuda method is, it's not terrible. The rates are nice and high. I did so much just prefer SOS chain, and like I love setting up. I will say to this day, the most fun I had shiny hunting was in Sun and Moon, for as bad as those games were. Which they weren't terrible. Ultra Sun and Moon, no, it's a good game, but it came out after, and it was so clearly just an actual release of Sun and Moon. But the SOS chain was satisfying because you put the effort in, so you usually get like your false swipe Pokemon for doing a national Dex. I set up, I think it was Trevenant or Executor, one of the two. So you could give them the berry and then the harvest ability, so it'd constantly refresh, and you just leave it going. And the fact that you could so mindlessly do that, I'm gonna go insane. It just, this is not 50-50. Yeah. The more mindless shiny hunting can be, basically the better for me. And it's the other thing doing the Living Dex, because I'm getting a load of the same. I'm seeing different abilities that I haven't actually seen on Pokemon. Like, where is it? What was the one that I didn't know was a thing the other day? Because some Pokemon you just assume all have the same ability. Oh, for a second I thought I had like 5 Ghastlies. I was like, why have I done that? Where is it? It was something 3rd gen. I want to say. Was it Nose? I'm probably not going to find it now. Where are you? Oh yeah, I think it was actually Gulpin, but when you just assume they have one ability, and I'd randomly see it, and it almost keeps me going a little bit, seeing like, ooh, it got a rare ability. Let's hope the male one that comes out has the ability on it. And then the logical side of my brain goes, yeah, but in the new games you can just swap the ability and even get the hidden ability, which was so nice, because for what was it, Crown Tundra, I was hatching a shiny Grookey, and that was around the time they put out the ones with the hidden ability, so I was breeding that one to hopefully get the hidden ability on a shiny Grookey. And it came out with the normal one. I was like, well, whatever at this point, because I think it was actually the day before the DLC came out, I ended up hatching the shiny Grookey, and it came out with the normal one. But thankfully they put in the ability patch or capsule, whatever one, let them get the hidden ability, so I kind of got the ideal one I wanted. Because I made sure for those DLCs to always keep Rillaboom as the one I used, whether it was Rillaboom like I said with Isle of Armor, that was G-Max to keep it interesting, or shiny Rillaboom. He was always in there, and then I had shiny G-Max Rillaboom because you could do that. Because that was definitely an afterthought, I think, for Isle of Armor, was just being able to give every Pokemon G-Max, because people were ending up with terrible Pokemon in general, like bad IVs, because you couldn't really guarantee them consistently, which is why people always like the Masuda method. You can guarantee IVs if you want them. So they're just like, well, if you've bred a good one and it can G-Max, just give it the soup. Unless it's friggin' Urshifu, in which case, no. You just can't give it soup. You have to give it, or you can give it soup, but it needs to be soup with honey, because they wanted to be funny with it. And they needed something to carry the game past the league, because that was oddly locked behind having the national, not national dex, stop saying national dex. It's wrong for those games. It's in this one, just when I think about it. After the league was the only time you could do, no, it was even further. It was after the league and after you'd done the post game and not go. I've been watching the series because I actually want to, I don't like the series, but I want to watch the league fights. Hop, once Hop had Zacian or Zamazenta, depending on what game you were playing, then he'd appear in the Isle of Armor, which was so frustrating, trying to do the decks and get the opposite legendary and stuff like that, the stuff that was locked behind it, like finishing the post game. So I was thinking, oh yeah, I'll do Urshifu, got Urshifu, and then I went to get the other form of Calyrex. And the fact that I had to do the league before I could get Calyrex meant I couldn't just burn through, and that was an extra 20 hours of a game. Not 20 hours, 10 hours, because I just went through them. 10 hours of a game that, at that point, I'd played for a third, fourth time. And that's the thing that's made me just really dislike these games, outside of the whole friendship system, because the friendship system winds me up as well. Because like I said, I like putting challenge in a game, and the fact that they can, I think, ends up cheesing the league in one of them by just having enough healing items and hoping that randomly they'd hold in or like lose a status or something, because essentially, oh, it's a male, I can move on from Kecleon. Yeah, when they'd stay on like 1 HP, and it feels like you're cheating the system, but for trying to speed through a game without the, got the egg for no reason. That's just threw me right off. Yeah, for trying to speed through and not using speedrun stats or strats, it just felt broken. Like, at least speedrun strats, they don't actually rely on them because they're so RNG. and you just can't avoid it. At least the other ones, like, I was having to give them the herbs, so I was having... Okay, got it right. I was having to give them herbs to lower the friendship value. And that felt like way too much effort rather than just going to the shops that are everywhere. And just getting healing items. Because I wanted to keep the friendship value lower so it didn't have the broken mechanic in the game. Because I've never enjoyed the friendship mechanic. Or not the friendship, but... I forget, they've got a different name for it, but the one that gives you all the stuff like they shook off paralysis, they survived on a hit, that kind of stuff. Let's quickly just find the box while I've got a second of thought. There. And why does it keep resetting my dex position? Let's see. Calculate. Oh, this is the Bennett and Shupper thing. I was thinking. I've completely forgot what I was talking about. Anyway. It's underground, because I think I'm going to be smart with this. Gonna try and be smart, but I was about to go underground in the wrong position. Go to Celestic Town. For Bennett. Go under Green Cave, catch that, put that same Bennett into the daycare, and breed a Shuppet. Because it's dumb that you can't get the first form of a Pokemon in the actual game. You should always be able to, even if it's rare, I think, personally, just for game design, even though nowhere near a game designer, I've just played a few games. As everyone is. Backseat game designers when they don't actually do it. I think you should always be able to get the base form of a Pokemon, even if it's rare. Even if it does lead to the stupid rare stuff, like I think it was a level 5 Salamence in Sun and Moon. Because someone just either didn't think it through or was like, haha, this would be funny. People at $1,600 is that's ridiculous. Although my DS games will probably be up there at that point, because like I said, they were some of my favourites for hunting in. I think if this year wasn't so busy for me, could just for very briefly, I've like new jobs and moving house and everything. I've been busy this year. Like, I probably would have put in those hours into shiny hunting if I wasn't so burnt out and just tired in general. Because I did not realise how much effort all that takes when you do it at once. Oh, bother. God, the movement mechanics in this are terrible. It shows so much in the underground. This one. Oh, Bennett. Right. Yep. Yeah. I don't accidentally just spend those in here. I'll put Bennett. See where it is. Bennett got 20% in Route 225. That's at night. So yeah, I'm in the right place for now. Unless it... I always find it weird what works with changing the clock in this and what doesn't. Because some things just... they either stop it working or it kind of holds on the time for 24 hours before the actual timed events will start kicking in again. So just kind of don't... just where the other... this is just becoming I'm going to vent about this game that I'm playing. The timed events for Pokemon frustrate me so much. Because I literally had to wait months to do some of like the Safari Zone encounters or the daily Pokemon in Mr. Backlot's mansion. To the point where finishing the Dex, I had to go onto Reddit, put up that I needed a Pidgey because it wasn't appearing as a swarm encounter. Because I'm all for, yeah, we don't want people to like cheese the system, but also if people want to, just let them. It doesn't actually make anyone's experience worse, especially when it's for catching Pokemon. It's like, oh no, someone's experience isn't worse because I can catch where I want. Let's just randomly pick one. Let's say Plusle. Oh no, someone's caught a Plusle and I haven't because I'm trying not to time travel. So what? It makes no difference. Unless you're trying to do it competitively, in which case you will probably really appreciate being able to break the game with time travel and that. And I feel like this comes down to stuff like Animal Crossing is the big divide with time travel. But ultimately it's the same argument, is it makes no difference, and because you have the choice of doing it, some people just have more fun and it opens possibilities like being able to speed run it. Because you can time travel, being able to do challenges in a decent amount of time. Like being able to do a challenge in, I don't know, 2 days if you're trying to get stuff to say 5-star. Rather than having to wait months to get your island to 5-star. Personally, I don't see why they're so strict with it. Personally, time-wise, like let people time jump if they want. Because for the stuff that actually matters when it comes to competitive, if you want IVs on a Pokemon to make it competitively viable, that's assuming you're not just using like PK Hex and shoving it on the save and doing stuff like that. Then everyone has to put in the same time, even if you're not locked to real-time events. Like, you see what I mean there? It makes no difference to the casual or competitive players. Just timed events in general in games when they're locked to real time, I don't enjoy them. I don't think anyone does. I don't think anyone likes thinking, oh, I'm trying to do the Dex, but I've got to wait till next Thursday to make Drifloon appear. That's ridiculous. And that just, from a market point of view, that means people are more likely, the hardcore players of your game are more likely to drop it because they're going to go for stuff like that. A casual player is not going to realise that Drifloon only appears on a Thursday, or even if they do care that much, they're still probably not going to wait till Thursday to get it. They're going to play it, and let's say they just want to pick it up and finish it in a week. They can do that, and then they'll just drop the game. After that point, you're not keeping them playing by making them wait till next Thursday. Just for the sake of that Drifloon example. And then when they do the whole friggin' RNG and timed events with the Safari, which you're not guaranteed in those telescopes when you even check the Safari for it to even be there. So you will check those 5 times for each one, just for the sake of making sure you know what's there. And you can check. Oh, what am I hatching now? Oh, the extra catch on it. That reminds me. I still need to actually do mine. Shame of living on my own. I've got to do all the chores, all the hoovering, all the cleaning. Yeah, I'm gonna stop ranting about that because I could go on about timed events and RNG till I'm blue in the face. Still doesn't mean game designers are gonna stop doing it, which I feel like Sword and Shield, not Sword and Shield, Game Freak kind of realised, which is why they didn't really patch out the bug in Raid Dens that let you skip. Because they realised it didn't make a difference. Ilka being a mobile developer. It showed that Ilka is a mobile developer. Oh, Togepi. Because they kept all this crap in. Faithful remake. That they put the fairy type back in. But they were faithful in terms of keeping the timed events and the bad stuff. What I reckon. It's just reminding me of all the little jobs I've got to do. Which I should probably... I might finish off with Burnett and Shuppet. And then maybe get off because I do have stuff to do. Which is still going to be a bit. Because Burnett is just not showing up. I'm going to go to the small one. I feel like the small one might be faster. It'd be a smaller loop. Hopefully. Let's see. If they didn't have terrible freaking collision. I've got to stop ranting about this game. I keep doing like one little thing and it just sends me off. I like, it's my own, it's a prison of my own design. The fact that I'm playing this and I don't actually like it just for the sake of it's so. The reason I'm doing this is because it so nicely covers the first 4 generations. I may as well do it all in one game. It's the only reason I'm actually doing it in BDSP. Then I'm just gonna jump to Sword and Shield. It'd be a nicer experience, but there's so many spots in that once I'm done with all the extras like Gen 5 plus there, which I just realised I gotta do raid dens. It's its own thing. At least they're a bit more interesting, and you gotta think. Yeah, then I've got to go back to, I think it's Oris and X and Y. Because I think I did the Dex in my Omega Ruby. So I should be able to get them all in there and I shouldn't need Alpha Sapphire. And then X and Y I think I need just for a couple. Definitely Skiddo and Go-Go. Which it's actually quite ridiculous that they knew for so long in the series that they hadn't been in a game and they just still didn't put them in. Because my brother-in-law's got one and he can't physically put in a game and breed it to give me an extra one. You have to go back into those games and put them through Pokemon Bank. Which just means I'm gonna either give them extra money for like 3 months of Pokemon Bank by the time I actually get round to it. I'm already giving them money for home and now they're gonna get bank. They're gonna literally make bank on me to then put it into there, transfer it up to home from the 3DS games. And I've been tempted for the sake of a farm dex after this. Yes. Like I say, they realised it had been left for so long and at this point it was a meme that they kind of had to put it in. And also God, I need a drink. It also just fits the theme of Scarlet Valley because I don't know whether it's just Ooga Booga Monkey Brain going, oh, that looks very Spanish, and I have no reason behind it. But it just kind of fits the theme for it to be in there. It might be like that on like the vineyard, like Spanish vineyards, and it's very berry and bushy and that kind of thing. I think it fits the theme. And it would be, I think it's something that I'd want them to do. But because I want them to do it and I think it's a good idea, they're not going to do it. Yeah. Definitely that. I think it should have been in Alola. It would have fit so well. And it would have been... Who were the rideable ones? Because they had Tauros, which kind of made sense. There were a couple that didn't make sense, like Machamp, obviously. Mub. To be fair, they had 2 horse rideables, which didn't make much sense. just for the sake of Mudstale. Yeah, because Mudspray was the first one. Mudstale being just for like hard, craggy ground, because he was a ground type. But like, it's also fast. They doubled up stupidly, and they could have done something more interesting for that. I swear, I actually need... Wait. Yeah. Well, technically, there was a place in Sun and Moon where Skiddo was the original rideable. You just couldn't actually ride it in a useful situation. It was just kind of, you get on it in the open field. So if you want to get into semantics, that. I'm curious whether... Oh, sorry. That's what I was saying. One of the features I'd like to see them put in it is something similar to Let's Go, where they had, depending on... Oh, finally been it. Depending on who was in your team, you could... Yeah. That's what I meant. Depending on who's in your team, you can swap out, say... What are the names? Miraidon and Koraidon. Swap them out for who's in your team, and it'd be just more interesting, personalize your experience a bit more. So, if you've got Go-Goat, say, let's say for instance, it's got to be in the front of your team if they don't do like the following mechanic that you select. If it's in the front of your team, when you call up the ride feature, it will use that, unless you're then going to go flying on it, in which case it could just go the Arceus way and it just swaps mid-air. No one would argue that, and it'd be just a fun little extra thing. And then you put in the dumb ride ones, like I think there was Snorlax is the dumbest one. Yeah, stuff like that, because they've put it as a glide feature. So ones that would puff up, like Wigglytuff would be ideal, or you have Drift Blim that you could just kind of pull out of nowhere and float down, or you pull out Drifloon and it just kind of takes you away and it just puts a game over screen. But just dumb stuff like that people would appreciate so much, because they saw how much of an uproar they got when, what was it, following Pokemon when in the base game for Sword and Shield, because people like those stupid little features where they always say, oh yeah, be friends with your Pokemon, and by being friends with your Pokemon, the only thing they're going to do is make you overpowered and the mechanic's broken. It's like, no, the stuff where you can role play it is the nicer features. Stuff where you can have them follow you, stuff where you can ride on different ones, and it makes the experience feel a bit more personalized, I think. And then they can put in the jokes. If they wanted to acknowledge how dumb it was, if you had Machamp, he could still be the rideable one who just carry you in his arms. This is actually taking too long. I'm gonna go just breed Bennett. I just kind of managed to start talking there. Did not realise how much time I was wasting in the underground because Bennett has such a low spawn rate apparently. Or just my RNG luck is kicking in and I'm going to breed a ton of female Bennetts now. Oh, great to know my Ditto's doing just fine. Let's see, yes, and where would I have put you? Oh, right in that corner. I assume that would have been later. Oh, and also just random thing, probably look on the fact that I've got a ton of them already. I'm trying to keep all the ones I use for the national decks in this game and get them all separately for home. Just in case, let's say, I don't know, the home service, like some other service goes offline or they just give up with it. I've at least got games with the... Yeah, the only neat bit of my boxes is the bits I'm doing for the national decks. Not National Dex, Living Dex. Yeah. So at least if they drop support for home, I've always got a way to get them if they are available in these games. I didn't have the effort by the time I was going through them to actually organise my boxes, because as much as I probably had time waiting for Kangaskhan, oh God, that took, I think, quite literally 2 months to organise them. At that point I just gave up. I didn't have the effort. I was already getting annoyed by the games jumping on and checking for Kangaskhan and not being there, and I just turn the game straight off and jump on and do something else. Which at that point was probably Arceus. I think my routine was get on, check for these Safari encounters and swarms, and then jump back on Arceus and just have some fun for a bit. Oh, I'm being dumb again on it. Wait, no, not the Dex. Yeah, I've just been going up and down and he's probably had that egg for a bit. God, I just zoned straight out. As soon as I start hitting up and down, I zone straight out. Come on. Actually, I'll see if I can do it. The dumbest thing I've noticed doing this is if you pause at the right time, you actually just, you don't ride up the hill, you just kind of slide up it. Yeah, so if I do it now and then I unpause, I just kind of awkward like, yeah, up the hill. Oh no, wait, what? No. Is it the one down here? There's one of them that is dumb and I let you do that. To be fair, 140 hours. Oh wait. I know, they've actually, I mean, you do the upward slide down. Okay, so they kind of fixed it. Yeah, Legends Arceus, 140 hours. I feel like at that point, you've definitely got your money's worth, and I feel like if you can go past that point, unless you're specifically doing challenges where you're getting a bit more, like, bit more fun out of it, at that point you're trying to squeeze a game dry. I feel like that's a nice level of kind of, for a Pokemon game. I think 100 hours is where they should kind of, oh, what I'm thinking, that should be the target to have people play. Because also, for people's metrics, like I know a load of people, they'll say, oh, pound, dollar, whatever it is, one of whatever your currency is per hour is kind of what people go for. So you're paying like 60, for me, pounds. I should get 60 hours out of it minimum. I think that kind of skews depending on the game. But if you're getting more than that, it's generally fine. Pokemon games, I find, for at least my main save, I'll do 100 plus hours. And that's kind of where I naturally stop. That's surprising, considering obviously the whole goal of the game is to finish the Dex. And I feel like, at least Dex-wise, it was actually sort of a fun experience doing it, because they lent into some of the stuff, like you had to find specific Pokemon to get specific items, and they didn't make it an absolute slog to get them, because you just had to defeat them to get evolution items and little bits like that. Where, say, in the core games, you've got to specifically, like I think in this, I have a Butterfree with Compound Eyes and Thief, and then hope to find the Pokemon with the item in the random encounter. Wholly agree, especially the baby Pokemon were annoying. I think that it depends on the person doing it. My stubbornness did not want to give in to the game. I was kind of sat there and like, I'm better than you sort of thing. You're not going to beat me. You're just a game. You're just like code. You're a little bit of plastic in my console. Like, my brain goes, you're not beating me. But I will wholly acknowledge it wasn't a fun experience just trying to get, say, something dumb like a bonsai to spawn. And then... Oh, wait. Just doing a dumb check? Yeah, I'm not being dumb. And the thing that kind of kept me going a little bit was actually the upped shiny rates. It's like, I'd almost get to that point where I was ready to just break and drop it. But then when I reloaded into an area and you heard that little, like, kind of thing, I'd then go searching for it. And that'd keep me going. And it would be a little serotonin kick that distracted me from how long the slog of trying to get that Pokemon to spawn was. Because they didn't make it easy to respawn an area. You always had to go back to a camp, rest for a night, and... What am I thinking? I've thought this before. Their solution is to minimize animations. There should be a cutscene skip that isn't just skip 6 movies in the whole game. Should skip all of them, but turn off the animations like you can do in battle. You should be able to do with the overworld as well, for if you're just trying to respawn stuff, or if you're hatching eggs, because that, I think, going through it is at least like, let's say 15-20 seconds. But that 15-20 seconds when you're trying to hatch 2,000 eggs really starts to add up. And it's been a bugbear, especially for BDSP, because they have whatever the friendship system is in it that I keep forgetting, the alternate. Oh, I almost had it and then I forgot. Oh, and the eggs hatching. When you start a battle, it frustrates me doing the encounters, because it'll start the battle, it'll do the zoom in on the Pokemon you're facing, then it'll do the pan round of you throwing out your Pokemon, and then it'll do a zoom in as well for some reason, and then because you're really good friends with them, hey male one, it'll then give you the text of, oh, this Pokemon's really excited, or this Pokemon's really enjoying your fashion right now. And then it'll do the little hop, and all of that stuff adds up, and it's not gameplay. All that stupid stuff just means I'm waiting around and it isn't interesting. Like, if it was shorter, it's like each battle I think takes like 10 seconds to start. If it was the sake of a couple seconds every time, like the camera shows a Pokemon, the camera shows yours, and then the battle starts, I wouldn't mind that, because it's a little bit of flair. But when it's gratuitous every time, because I think part of the panning round, I think it's a timing thing. They wanted to keep timings consistent, and one of the hidden features in the game is that if a Pokemon has, I think, 3 or more perfect IVs, it'll show your trainer's face as it goes past. So that's when you get like pans across, then shows a Pokemon. That means you kind of guaranteed it's got more than 3 perfect IVs. I'm sure you probably already know. But I think the other animations they do in between that is to compensate and make all that time the same. I don't know why you do that. Hey, that's Bennett done as well. Sweet. Yeah, it's tiny little quality of life things that casually you'd never notice, I'll be honest. If I was to just pick up the game and go from getting my starter to finishing the league and the post game, it probably wouldn't annoy me. It's because I want to put all these extra hours into a series that it annoys me. Which is, it's on me, but it's also, and the, oh, what do they call it? Not the core audience. The core audience is kids at the end of the day, let's be honest. The other thing I always say is, I'm playing a kid's game. I shouldn't really complain too much. But we're like the hardcore audience, and they're the ones, like I was saying, I'm going to buy the game every year regardless of whether I think it's good or bad, because Stockholm Syndrome is a thing. and I've put too many years into this. I was literally born in 96. I'm a Pokemon kid. I've grew up with it. I maybe didn't play it as soon as, but I have been playing since Pokemon Red, Pokemon Yellow on a Game Boy Color with no backlight, just on long drives, waiting for like a street lamp to go by the car window so I could see what Pokemon Erica was using. Like, at this point, I'm too invested. But they should be better to that kind of audience, really. But that's just me complaining. Anyway. Let's quickly have a look at when we're doing the Dex. 354, so I'm up to Duskull. I think that's probably... Oh, why am I... Wait, how far am I to doing 3 gens? 1, 2, 3, 4... Wait, I can do maths. I can be smarter. 355. 2 without legendaries. 376. 1. 21. That's not bad. I reckon at a push... Yeah, it's better just to not think about how long you've been playing. Wait, so 14 years. So what game did you pick up to start with then? I'm trying to think. Because obviously, like I'm saying, like I'm 25 now. 26 in like a month. So I've been playing probably consciously since I was maybe 3, 4, so 21, 22 years. God, oh god. Wait, to just like in my head, my mental image of myself just got like wrinkles. Diamond, yeah, I actually got a few of my friends into Pokemon by playing Diamond, and I think especially with the DS being so common, I keep doing this. Yeah, with the DS being such a prevalent. Sorry, I just grabbed my mouse. Console, that's where a load of people picked it up. It's just such a shame that these games weren't good because everyone was looking forward to them. And so, just flashbanged you. Oh, Ruby's such a good one to start with. I think I remember the first game I actually pre-ordered was Emerald. Which that was me properly getting into it myself, because I always played my brother's version of Yellow, and then I borrowed versions of like Red and Blue. I borrowed a friend's Gold or Silver for a bit, and they are still my favourite games to this day, and that I've got my own version. And Heart Gold, Soul Silver is really good, but I think it just doesn't have the charm because I haven't got the nostalgia goggles on it. But yeah, Emerald was the first one I pre-ordered and got on release day. Because I remember going into like Toys R Us with my mum and being like, oh, yeah, I'm going to get you a game sort of thing. I was like, there's no game I want, but there's this new Pokemon one here. And I didn't realise it wasn't out. I was like, can I get this one? And she had to tell me like, you'll get it in a bit. I was like, I'm going to get the new one. There's that on Leaf Green. Like 3rd gen was such a good gen. Yeah. I'm probably going to hop off now. Cheers for keeping me distracted, I'm not just mindlessly listening to a podcast and going up and down for a bit. Oh, see, I agree with one of those. You just heard me rant about BDSP. But definitely, Heart Gold, Soul Silver. Definitely up there. I just like the 2, being able to go to the 2 regions, but yeah. Cheers and hopefully catch you again in a bit if I bother doing this again. Bye.